Hey guys, so as I said before, or Monica said before, this is the second part of the audition video that we are planning to make together. So this is Monica,
Hello.
and let's get started.
Alright. So, what did you sing or dance at the audition?
So as I've mentioned before, I am going to talk about the SM and Kpop audition. So first off, for SM, I did not sing, but I did dance. And for dance, we basically just had to freestyle for around 30 seconds, around there. So I've actually went to SM twice. So the first time we actually only danced to freestyle to one song. The second time we actually freestyled to two songs. And when they changed the song, they actually have the judge is actually very acknowledged in these kind of the music, because they change it to a completely different kind of genre, so then they can see your ability to dance to the beat. So for Kpop, what was the question?
What did you sing or dance to?
So for Kpop, let me just say, guys, that you should always be prepared to sing and dance, because you never know when they will ask you to do both. So for Kpop, they actually did ask me to do both when I just wanted to dance, since I wasn't too confident in my singing. I actually did not prepare that much for singing, which I do kind of regret, but like on the spot when I came in, because I always knew that Kpop was more focused on vocals compared to other components of being a singer. So when I walked in, they just asked me to sing first, which I was very surprised to, because I was like, oh, I'm a dancer, but they were like, oh, we want to see your voice and what it sounds like, because you're going to be out of breath once you dance, right? So they asked me to sing first, so I actually sang Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and I tried to act confident. I mean, I have been taking vocal classes in school, so I had a basic foundation of singing, but I wasn't too confident, so I forgot some lyrics here and there, but I got through. I sang around for 1 minute. It was from the beginning of the song to like the end of the first chorus, which was around a minute. And then after that, they wrote something down, and then they asked me to dance. Again, for Kpop, it is freestyle again. So for freestyling, they just played some music. For mine, they played 7-Eleven, and it was a pretty good song to dance to, because I have heard it before, but I have never actually tried to dance to it. But once I did it there, it actually has a good beat, everyone, so you should try it. And anyways, after I danced for around a minute and a half or so, they actually asked me some questions, which is actually a good thing. And they asked me things like how old I was, how many languages I spoke, how did I find out about this audition. Well, butterfly just flew by, and and things like, so basic information, but just keep in mind, guys, that when they ask you things, they want honest opinions and honest answers. So don't say anything that you think might please them, because they will see through. Like if you're like 18 and you're saying you're 13, they will see that, guys. So don't do that.
Okay.
Anyways, next.
So, how long did you sing or dance for?
So as I mentioned, for Kpop, I danced and sang for around a minute. So always just be prepared for an entire song, because I have heard from other people that during like previous artist auditions, like Wendy from Red Velvet, they asked her to sing like a whole song because her voice is fire, yo. And yes, so just prepare like at least two full songs. And for freestyle, you can't really prepare for that. So what I suggest is, when you're at home, a couple of weeks or days before the audition, just try to play some random music that comes on the radio, and just try to dance to it, because that really helps. So yeah. And for SM, it's around 30 seconds, around there.
So, are singers and dancers separated when auditioning?
So for SM, yes. They actually, when you go in as like a pack, but they ask singers to step up, and vice versa for the dancers when it's their time to do their thing. And for singers, basically you just take one step up, and then you just sing one by one, like that. For dancers, you just step up in a group. And for my auditions, there were actually around 2 or 3 singers, both times for SM. So we just stepped up and then just played some music and we all freestyle at once. For Cube, it's actually very, very different from other companies because you actually go in one by one. They actually see you one by one, which I really, really appreciate because the judges, they get more time to focus just on you and you get more time to shine instead of everyone being there and the judges. Of course, one of the people is gonna steal the judges' eyes more than the others, so the judges don't see you as much, right? So that's what I really like about Cube, but it's actually more nerve-wracking because it's just you and 3 judges watching you. So when I was there, I felt really scared, but I was also very excited because Cube is one of my favorite companies.
Okay. Were there any rappers?
I actually didn't see any rappers at all besides the one that Monica talked about at JYP. She looked like Zello, you know?
She was so cute. She rapped
Yeah.
like Zello too.
Yeah, and yeah, she was really cute, but aside from that, I don't think a lot of people audition for rap because from what I know, okay, I'm saying this, but guys, don't be discouraged if you are rap focused because usually they want you to sing first, and if you're adequate in singing, then they teach you to rap. So I mean, you're a singer, right? Your main goal is to sing. So singing is always, well, for majority of the companies, the most important thing that they focus on.
Alright. Should I sing in Korean?
I mean, if you are Korean, yes, but if you aren't and you know the song well enough, you could try it. But I suggest not because the judges they don't really care what language you sing in because they want to hear your voice. So from what I know, my friend who is Korean, she went to audition, but she actually sang an English song and they didn't care at all because her last name is Kim. So I'm pretty sure she's Korean and the judges knew that she was Korean, but she actually did not sing an Korean song and the judges didn't ask her to. So any language that you're most comfortable in, I mean, you don't want to sing a song that you don't know any of the lyrics to and try to sing something that is the beat is pretty slow because for a fast song, when there are too many words, when you are nervous, you're gonna forget them and you're gonna skip them. So don't pick anything that's like too fast.
Alright. What is a good song to sing or dance to?
So as I just mentioned, try to pick something that's slow. And for dancing, if you're freestyling, you don't really have a choice. But if you actually get the chance to prepare for something, then pick something that suits your style. I mean, everyone has their own style of dance that they are most comfortable with. So personally, I do K-pop and hip-hop, so I prepared a song that's like pop. So I did Should Have Kissed You by Chris Brown for the auditions, where I get to choose my own song. And I choreographed my own song. So guys, remember, if you're choosing a song, try not to choose a K-pop song because, I mean, you're gonna get compared to the original artist. And for sure, well, most definitely, you're not going to be better than the original artist. So try not to do a thing that's where you're just copy and pasting what the artist does. I mean, you could do a K-pop song, but try to change up the choreography. Or if you try to do an English song, just make up your own choreo because that gives you extra points.
Alright. Do the judges give you feedback?
This depends on the company. I mean, if there are too many people auditioning that day, or if they're not really interested in you, then they won't really say anything to you. So for my instance, Cube actually gave feedback to me because we were one by one, so they had more time and there were less people auditioning. But for companies like SM or JYP where they're in the big 3, there's gonna be a lot of people auditioning, so you don't really get much time to show the judges, and they don't have time to ask you one by one, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that for next time. Like, they don't really care about you. Like, guys, let's be honest here. If you don't interest them, they don't really care about you. So yeah, that's how it works. And for Starship and Lowen, they actually gave you feedback, which was really interesting because I didn't expect them to give feedback. I would say there was a pretty small amount of people auditioning because I would say Starship and Lowen, they're not as well known as the big 3, of course, and not a lot of people might be interested in them as much as the big 3, but nevertheless, Starship and Lowen is great, guys. But yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Alright. Can I sing with background music?
No, I would say no for most of the companies. You are not allowed to. You are to sing a cappella for almost all the companies I have auditioned to, and I would say for every company, they want to see your a cappella skill, because when you sing a cappella and with music is a completely different feeling. Because for a cappella, you don't have a starting note. You don't have like the tune. You don't know if you're in tune or not. But when you have an background music, then you actually know like, oh, this is my note. So it's a completely different kind of skill set. Like, they can differentiate good singers or people that aren't as skilled in singing from the singing a cappella.
What do I prepare if I want to audition through dance?
For dance, from a lot of companies, they ask you to freestyle, as I've mentioned before, because that actually shows your potential to dance and keep to the beat, which is a really good way to test your skill. But if they ask you to prepare something, then just prepare something that you're uncomfortable with, like I've mentioned before.
How tall or old were you when you auditioned, and does height matter?
I was, again, the same age as Monica, since we're the same age. We were like 14, 15, 16, in that range when we auditioned. And I am 170 centimeters tall, which is 5'7". And I would say that's pretty tall for the K-pop industry, since the average height for Korean women is 160. But like, it doesn't really matter too much if you're tall or too short, because heels.
Does age matter?
And age, I would say yes, it definitely does matter, because I do have a good idea of what they look for from family and their friends. And some people that work in the company has told me that when they look at your application, the first thing they look at is your age. And age actually determines your future, because, I mean, if you're too... I don't want to say old, but like if you're older than their expectation, then it's harder to train you, because you have actually hit the age where like, okay, it's not as easy to adapt to the like idol lifestyle anymore, and sometimes it's just harder to train you when you're like a bit older than the actual age that they expect, right? So I would say the appropriate age to audition is probably 12 to 22, in that age range. But if you are older than that, then don't get discouraged, because you should just try if you have a dream.
Does ethnicity matter?
It does. It does. It really does, guys. I mean, this is K-pop, so their main goal are Koreans. I mean, it's Korean pop, so their target is to make you appeal for Koreans and Asians, because as you guys can notice that a lot of K-pop companies has expanded to China and Japan and a lot more Asian countries. But I would say Asians definitely have a better chance. I'm not saying this because I am Asian or she is Asian or anything. It's just because I am speaking my truthful opinion about this. I mean, if you're Asian, then you definitely have a better chance than non-Asians. That's how it works.
Should I do online auditions or live auditions?
I mean, if you can't get there, if you're an international fan or an international person who has a dream of becoming an idol, then you should just audition online. I mean, not everyone has the chance to audition live, but if you have the chance to audition live, I would definitely recommend it, because it is way easier to get noticed when you are in person. Because online, some people, you know, they're really photogenic, so like they look completely different on camera than they are in person. So the judges, even if you make it for the online audition, the first round, they will ask you to like they want to see you in person, and if you don't look good in person, they still won't take you. So I would definitely say go to live auditions. Is that mean? I would definitely say go to live auditions if possible, because there's a greater chance that you might get accepted.
Which is the best company?
I wouldn't really say which is the best, because everyone has their own opinions about which one they think is the best, because everyone has their different interests. So Monica said that she likes JYP the most because there's more of a family feel, and like everyone is really close to each other. But personally, I like Jellyfish and Cube, because I feel like Jellyfish Entertainment, they train their artists really well. So personally, I am a fan of VIX. They all have this feel that they look together as a group, even though they all have different kind of charms. And like their live singing is on point. Like they eat the CDs, guys. Like their live singing song, like guys, you should just go watch a Vix performance on YouTube, and like all of their live singing is so on point. Like, did they eat the CDs or something? And for Cube, my second favorite company, which is Cube, I would say, since again they're more vocal focused than others, they also train you mainly on vocals. I mean, I have seen there's actually a documentary of Sorn from CLC on YouTube that you can watch, and it shows how Cube have trained her over the years because she's from Thailand, and so of course everything's going to be hard to adapt to when you're from a foreign country, when you arrive in Korea. So basically it just shows her daily schedule every day, like what she does to, like, in order to debut, and her daily schedule, I would say. So yeah, you guys should go check it out if you are interested in Cube, because that actually tells you a lot about the company.
Do you want to link it down below?
Sure. There's the link.
Alright, she'll put it in the description box. What are my chances of getting in?
I wouldn't say anyone's chances are lower or higher than others, because as I have mentioned, for ethnicity, of course, if you are Asian, you definitely have a better chance, but I wouldn't say non-Asians are lower, because from Kpop Star 5, I know they came around Canada and US, and a lot of non-Asians got through the first round. I mean, the PD I don't know what their steps are for taking or rejecting people from the first round, but like, I assume that because they are a show, so they want viewers, so they want to make the show interesting. So I assume for the first round they just purely based on talent, and then as the rounds go on, they start to look at other things like age, ethnicity, and stuff like that. So yeah.
Alright, how do I get scouted?
You basically walk around. That's basically how you get scouted, guys. I mean, you don't know when you're gonna get scouted. I mean, Tiffany from Girls' Generation, she got scouted when she went to the washroom, guys. I mean, what are the chances of that? Right? I mean, like, you never know when the right moment just comes. Like, sometimes you never know what might happen tomorrow. Like, your life might change, like, drastically in a blink of an eye, and you never know. So just keep your doors open, guys, and walk around a lot.
Does it help if I speak many languages?
It definitely does, because of course, since they are a distributor and a marketing company, they want as much people as they can to like their music and their artists. So if you know a lot of languages, then it's easier to connect to the fans. I mean, if you go to a concert in a foreign country, then you can actually communicate with the fans there, and it's way easier to get fans if you can actually speak to them. I mean, that is how people work. But yeah, I mean, if you speak a lot of languages, it's definitely a positive thing. There's never a negative thing about knowing too much, or maybe there is, but not in this entertainment industry. Yeah.
All right. Last question. Can you talk more about your audition experience, and which company did you enjoy the most, and any tips for the viewers?
So personally, as I have mentioned, my favorite companies are Jellyfish and Cube, but Jellyfish, they haven't done any global auditions yet outside of Asia. So I plan on auditioning when I do go to Korea, so if that's available to me, I will definitely take the chance to. And I have auditioned for Cube, which is my second favorite company. Cube, I would say it's not because they're my favorite company that I enjoy them the most, but it's because of my actual experience there. I mean, I had a lot of fun, and I felt like I actually improved throughout the auditions. I mean, Cube was one of the more recent auditions that I went to, and it was one of the auditions where I felt like, oh, I actually did well when I came out, when I walked out of the room. I felt like, oh, I might have a chance, you know? Like, yeah, so I enjoyed them, and also because I mentioned they audition the auditionees one by one, so that's a really good way to actually see the auditionees, because you get much more time to impress the judges.
That's all.
Thank you, and bye guys. Thank you for watching. So if you haven't watched part 1 of Monica's video, please go check that out, because hers is awesome.
Bye.
Bye guys.